Hi, I'm Karen Ard with Cannabis Emagazine, and I am at Medicine Man Denver interviewing the CEO of Medicine Man Technologies, Andy Williams. Hi,
Hello.
Andy.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
We're going to talk today about Medicine Man Technologies because Medicine Man Technologies just became a public company.
Woo-hoo.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's no small feat.
No, that was a lot of fun. We actually went through it pretty quickly. I think we filed our S1 in April, and I think we cleared DTC December 23rd, something like that. And it was about an 8-month process. So I was excited how quickly we went through it.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about Medicine Man Technology as opposed to Medicine Man Production or Medicine Man Denver?
Yeah, Medicine Man Technologies is the company that we've captured what we've learned at Medicine Man Denver. So we've got a lot of intellectual property here at Medicine Man Denver in terms of equipment and process, know-how, markets, so much that we've learned over our 6+ years in business here that we've captured and documented, and now we're able to help people that have the desire and they have the money and they have the connections and the passion, but they don't have the know-how. And we provide the know-how, and we help them get licensed in their state. So we help them fill out their application. They can use our reputation as part of the package that they're submitting to the state, and help them get ready for submitting that application. Once they get their license, we help in design and build of their facilities, the business planning. Of course, a lot of that goes on an application as well. Training their employees, helping getting their system set up and getting them running. So as turnkey as you can get as far as a business when it comes to anything and in the cannabis space.
So are you doing the build out with the lighting and all of the other systems for fire control, etc., for the companies as well?
We help them design it. They have their own general contractor. We have a general contractor on our staff that has helped build our facility, and there's a lot of things that they've learned over the 6+ years of building for us and 5 iterations of what we do, that they can help the other general contractors understand what those idiosyncrasies are in the cannabis space and help our clients avoid the expensive mistakes that we've made over time.
So basically, Medicine Man Technologies is soup to nuts for people that want to get into the cannabis business.
Exactly right.
Okay, great. I read in your S1 filing that you track your competition. I was curious about how you're tracking them and for what reasons you're tracking them.
Oh, that's great. We track them for multiple reasons. So one, we started off with just a spreadsheet where we said, okay, who is our competition? How are they advertising? How successful have they been, et cetera? Who are they affiliated with if there's a cannabis company involved? Or do they really even have experience? So that's the kind of tracking that we do. Just like any industry, you want to know who your competitors are so you see how you stack up against them and see if you need to make changes or maybe even take some ideas if you see some clever ideas out there. We've brought that up a notch as well. So this last time in Vegas, there was just an industry show in Vegas that's the biggest of the year. And we hired a company to actually go out and do the competitive analysis for us because all of our competitors were there. And so they went around and talked to our competitors, talked to them about pricing and talked to them about how they priced, talked to them about what types of services they offered, talked about reputations in the industry, what do they hear about other people in the industry. And then in addition to that, they talked to people that were walking around the show. What have you heard about a consulting company? And what names come to mind when you hear it? And so we learned a lot of things. When you do those sorts of things, you have to be ready for information that you say, wow, that's a perception that I don't like and I need to change that. Or, then you hear other things, you're like, wow, that's great. People think that of us, that's wonderful. So we learned a lot, and we're very active in keeping up to date on who our competition are and how we stack up against them.
Very good, very good. I also read in the S1 that you plan on growing your operations nationally. Obviously, you can only grow to states where cannabis is legal. What needs to change besides obviously the laws? And we were also talking to Jason out in your medical space, and he said that CBD now, as of January, is legal to move if it's made from hemp from Colorado from state to state, which is new. So what are your plans for national growth?
Well, nationally, we're already working in 14 states, I believe it is. And so there doesn't have to be laws in the book for us to be working there. We do not touch cannabis with Medicine Man Technologies. So if somebody wants to prepare for the time when their states are legal, we can move into that state at any time. But what we found is our target market are people that are in states that's actively discussing marijuana laws, and they're wanting to get prepared for the time when they're actually able to file for a license and be in business. So there are plans in place. I'm not at liberty to talk about it right now that would open us up to all the states. We have information that will help not only people in business, trying to be industrial with this, but people who want to do home grow might be interested in a light version of what we do. So we have plans to expand our marketability to not only the industrial space, but also the home space as well. And I can't go into detail on that, and we have other plans too for future growth that I'm excited about, but again, I can't discuss it.
Okay. A question about the other states. So do you employ somebody in each state that keeps compliant with the ever-changing rules and regs?
We do that ourselves. So we have in-house folks that, that's what they do. Whenever a state is preparing to go, we're always reading the new legislation that comes out or keeping up to date on what's happening in the state. A lot of times we take part in the legislative process by giving testimony and other things. And as those things are published, we have our own attorneys, we have our own employees that scour those rules and regulations. We make checklists to make it easy for people. We make our own lists that say, here's the things that we really need to be concerned about, things like that to help our clients out. So it's really us doing that kind of work. It's a lot of legwork.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a relationship between Medicine Man Technologies and Medicine Man Denver. Can you discuss that with us?
Certainly. It's, there's some common ownership between the two. Of course, me and my family, own parts of both businesses, significant parts. And we have a licensing agreement between Medicine Man and Medicine Man Technologies that goes on forever. That says Medicine Man Technologies is a sole, user of our intellectual property, and they have the rights to it. Now, Medicine Man can still use our intellectual property wherever we see fit as well, but Medicine Man Technology is the only one that can use it outside of that.
And you won't sell any additional licenses?
That's correct. Yeah, we do license people in other states, but Medicine Man Technology is the only business that can license Medicine Man Technology.
On Monday, January 25th,
Yes.
Medicine Man Technologies became a publicly traded company, as we mentioned, under the trading symbol MDCL on the OTCQB.
That's right.
The current price is around $3 a share.
That's right. That puts the cap value of the company about $30 million. That's exciting. When I think about, we built that in 2 years. That's absolutely amazing. And when it started trading, what a day that was to watch it go up and down, whatever. And I had a concern that because there was a limited amount of float originally, that the price was going to get too high, but it really didn't. It stayed pretty reasonable and corrected pretty quickly. So I am so pleased with what's going on right now, and the plans that we have for expansion of product lines and revenue streams at Medicine Man Technologies is just going to power that on to further growth. I'm excited about it.
Very good. Do you plan on raising capital now that you're a public company?
There is not an immediate plan to do that. Some of the work that we have planned could require a capital raise, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But certainly, being a public company makes raising capital much easier than it is for a private company, specifically in the marijuana space.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I agree with that. Did you notice through your registration process that you had any additional hoops or loops that you had to jump through because you are a cannabis company?
You know, I've never done it before, so
Right.
that's a tough one for me to say. But you know, in speaking to Brett Roper, our COO, and really the guy that engineered that process through the SEC and FINRA and DTC, you know, it seemed like we had a little extra scrutiny, but they were very fair to us, and we got through very quickly. Like I said, you know, it was 8 months, and I think that's any company that's filing to go public. If they can do it in 8 months, they're going to be pretty happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, for sure. In your S1, you had selling shareholders register. You didn't raise any money for the company. So now you have about 1,100,000 shares in the float.
That's right.
Okay, that's a decent float.
It is a decent amount of float. You know, we don't have the amount of shares that some of the other cannabis stocks do, but I think that's attractive. You know, we're not watering this stock down, and the stock that you have is going to be very valuable. But there's enough float, I think, out there to satisfy demand.
Right, and it's a reasonable market cap.
I agree.
Right,
Yeah.
I do too. Are there risks for investors outside of the obvious with the, you know, marijuana not being federally legal in investing in public companies, in your opinion?
There's always risks when you invest in public companies.
Right.
Nothing's a guarantee. That being said, you know, I'm bullish on our outlook. You know, we have a solid team working with us. We have a great reputation in the industry. We just got done closing out applications with 5 clients in Hawaii, 3 on Oahu, 1 on Kauai, and 1 on the Big Island. And so we're very excited about that and hope to win some licenses. We hope to hear about winning some licenses in Maryland soon. And all that means back-end work for us, which is more revenue, you know, coming in, as well as, you know, new states opening up. There's some coming up relatively quickly, Pennsylvania and others. And then with our new product lines that we're developing and our new revenue streams, I think people are going to be very excited about the growth of Medicine Man Technologies.
Okay, a couple more questions real quick. Are most of the companies that you're working with on the technology side, the soup to nuts part, are they mostly looking at cultivating and selling in retail and medical dispensaries, or is it a mixed bag?
Right. That's a mixed bag, and a lot has to do with the state's requirements. For instance, in Hawaii, you have to be vertically integrated. So you're going to be cultivating, you're going to be, you know, you're going to be producing in terms of manufacturing the cannabis and extracting it, and you're going to be retailing it. So that's mandated there. But then in Maryland, you have cultivators and you have dispensaries, and we have a mixed bag there as well. So it is a mixed bag no matter where you go, but some are vertically integrated, some aren't.
Okay, very good. Do you have any words of advice for private companies that are in the cannabis space that think they might want to be public?
Yeah, you know, I have seen some bad things happen with companies that do that, and then I believe what we've done is a very good thing. And so make sure you're going in with, if you don't know, like myself, I didn't really know a lot about taking a company public, but I had good people around me. And so surround yourself with good people who you trust. And if at all possible, avoid a reverse merger. You know, it seems to be that's where the problems lie. And if you can file an S1, you know, go through the front door, I think you're better off.
I think that's excellent advice, Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Again, this is Andy Williams, the CEO of Medicine Man Technologies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.